These are Marine Corps drill instructors. These aren't just any trainers, they're the stuff of legend. They're loud, they're relentless, and they're the backbone of the Corps. They forge regular, everyday people into Marines in just 13 weeks. Let's break down the role of the U.S. Marine Corps drill instructor and uncover what makes them tick, how they transform recruits, and why they're the ultimate symbol of Marine grit. Hit that like button if you're ready, and let's roll. I'm going to cover three things here. What exactly is a Marine Corps drill instructor and how do they become one? Why do they wear that special cover, the Smokey hat? And why do they yell out every order and every word they speak to the Marine recruit? So, who becomes these drill instructors or DIs? Picture this, they're handpicked Marines, elite among the elite, who've already proven their mettle in the Corps. But becoming a DI, that's a whole new next level. These Marines volunteer for one of the toughest gigs in the military, heading to drill instructor school, 12 grueling weeks of physical punishment, mental sharpening, and mastering the art of command. Yeah, that's right. Marine Corps drill instructors go back and retrain in their own boot camp. They don't just learn to scream, they learn to lead. But that's just the start for the DI. By the time they earn that iconic campaign cover, they're ready to turn raw recruits into something unstoppable. And doing that is one of the most grueling jobs in the Marine Corps. They are the men and women who will drill, eat, and sweat alongside every recruit, turning the everyday people into one of the most elite fighting forces in the world, a U.S. Marine. Marine drill instructors are one of the most iconic symbols of any military branch, yet it takes even a special individual to earn the title of drill instructor, with only about 1 out of 5 Marines who apply to become drill instructors actually make it through. That's how brutal it is. So, why does the Marine drill instructor wear that iconic Smokey the Bear cover? Let's dive into this because there's a little bit more to this story. The U.S. Marine Corps field hat had a parallel history to the Army version and can be seen in photos of Marines in Nicaragua, Haiti, and China well before World War II. But it gets even more interesting. The Marine Corps drill instructor's cover, commonly known as the campaign cover or Smokey the Bear hat, has a rich history tied to tradition, practicality, and the evolution of the Corps' identity. Its story reflects both its functional origins and its symbolic importance to the Marines.
Do it! Faster! Faster, go! Bullet! 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 What is this, Commander?
The campaign cover's roots trace back to the broader use of the wide rimmed hats in the U.S. military during the 19th century, which were more practical for sun and weather protection than the standard shakos or forage caps of the time. The Marine Corps followed suit, wearing a similar hat during the Spanish American War in 1898. This early version had a wide brim and a fore and aft crease, but it wasn't yet the iconic Montana Peak style shaped that we see today. It continued its use in the Marine Corps marksmanship teams, but then, in 1956, the cover was adopted as part of the official uniform of the Marine drill instructor. This cover was originally worn by men, but in 1996, women drill instructors were allowed to wear the coveted cover. And now, what we have all wondered, why do Marine Corps drill instructors yell and scream every single order and every single word at their recruits? Well, the Marine Corps drill instructors yell and scream at recruits as a deliberate and time tested training tactic rooted in the Corps' mission to forge disciplined, resilient, and combat ready Marines. It's not just noise for the sake of intimidation, though it certainly intimidates. It's a calculated method with practical, psychological, and cultural underpinnings. First, the yelling serves as a functional purpose. It simulates the chaos and stress of combat. In battle, orders must be heard over gunfire, explosions, and confusion, often requiring a leader to bellow commands with absolute clarity and urgency. By screaming every order during boot camp, whether it's get on the line or move faster, drill instructors train recruits to process and respond to directives instantly, even under duress. This builds a reflex like obedience that can save lives when hesitation isn't an option. The volume also ensures that every recruit, no matter where they're standing in formation, hears the command without ambiguity. Psychologically, the constant shouting breaks recruits down to build them back up. Boot camp is designed to strip away civilian habits and egos, replacing them with a Marine mindset. The unrelenting barrage of screamed orders creates an environment of controlled stress, pushing recruits past their comfort zones. It exposes weaknesses, fear, indecision, or fragility, and forces them to adapt. Drill instructors watch how recruits handle this pressure, knowing it's a preview of how they'll perform in the real crisis moments of combat. Over time, as recruits endure and overcome, they gain the confidence and cohesion, emerging tougher and more unified. The yelling becomes a crucible, not just punishment. There's also a cultural angle. The Marine Corps prides itself on being the toughest branch, and the drill instructor's ferocity, embodied in that screaming, reinforces that identity.
How was recruit training, son?
Hard, sir.
Hard? What was so hard about it, son? Were you mentally challenged or physically?
Both, sir.
In which way, son?
The scrutiny had to adjust to new life, sir.
What was your life before like compared to recruit training?
Easy, sir.
Yeah?
It's theater with a purpose. The wide-eyed, hat-tilted, vein-popping delivery isn't random, but a performance honed at drill instructor school. Recruits remember it, fear it, and respect it. It's part of the mystique that sets Marines apart, a rite of passage that's been etched into the Marine Corps' lore. Drill instructors don't just teach, they embody the discipline and intensity that they command, and the volume is their signature. That said, it's not mindless rage. Behind the screams, drill instructors are precise. Every word, every cadence is intentional. They're trained to project authority without losing control, balancing terror with mentorship. As recruits progress through training, the yelling often tapers off, shifting toward direct instruction as the recruit proves themselves. The early weeks of boot camp are always the loudest because that's when the transformation is at its rawest. In essence, the Marine drill instructors yell to prepare recruits for war's chaos, forge mental toughness, and uphold a tradition of unrelenting standards. It's a tool, not a tantrum, and it's been shaping Marines for generations. So, are there any former or current drill instructors out there? Do you think you have what it takes to become not just a Marine, but a Marine drill instructor? Do you remember your DI? Can I get an oorah? And if you found this video interesting, you may like this next video. And as always, thank you for watching and supporting the channel.